This is one issue I have tried as much as possible to avoid. Yesterday, when my brother, Senator Abaribe, brought this matter up, I took up and said, no, I will not allow this to happen. Because he's about to remind me a very sad memory. And I'm speaking not along party line or ethnic or whatsoever, as I've watched and listened to the contribution thus far. Mr. President, very distinguished colleague, as a result of the action and inaction of Professor Humphrey Wosu, I lost my immediate junior brother. He died right behind me for him refusing to do or carry out his duty as INEC chairman. Mr. President, many of my colleagues have stood up here and said he conducted the free and fairest election. There are three different meanings and three different interpretations that we should look at: conducting election, releasing results, and announcing results. Yes, he conducted the election. Yes, School of Thought said he releases all the results. But you and I know releasing results is not the same thing as announcing results. He failed at the critical moment when he's supposed to salvage this democracy. Today we celebrate Abiola or those people who have contributed to the success story of June 12 because they laid their life, they put their life on the line. If he is coward to withdraw in doing what is right at the critical moment, I think my brothers here should be fair enough. We are not saying you should not bring this matter up. And as my colleague have said, everybody that we have put before us that should be honored, we have celebrated them here. And don't forget, this is the highest law-making body of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where we should see ourselves as one and one Nigeria. Professor Humphrey Wosu, with due respect to him, because it's now late, does not deserve to be immortalized as one of the very few Nigerians that have done the right thing. And I want to plead with my colleague. As I've said, I'm not speaking along the ethnicity line, along the party line, but I'm speaking as Nigeria, who witnessed the horrific moment
Thank you. Once
of the refusal of Professor Humphrey Wosu to carry out his assignment at the most critical hour.
Thank you,
Mr. President.
Now let's go to prayers.
We said that even if it's not done today, that another government will do this. We are still looking forward to the Tinubu government. If you recall, Tinubu was seen and has always been seen as a June 12 warrior. And therefore, all the elements that make up June 12, including the conduct of the election. And like we said, if there was no election, there would have been no June 12. So we can also use this opportunity that we're here addressing you to appeal to the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to honor the man who made sure that that election held, despite that it was done, and put elections in the consciousness of Nigerians. Because that election was what led everybody else to now be doing subsequent elections. Thank you. He was a member, and he also participated fully in that election. So let him make it.
To recall that without Professor Humphrey Wosu's sagacity and courage, that election wouldn't have taken place. We are all aware that Justice Ikpeme said that there shall be no election. By 9:30 in the morning on June 10th, Professor Humphrey Wosu, audaciously without invitation, went to the National Defense and Security Council and insisted and convinced them that the election process had commenced. That was why President Babangida allowed him to conduct the election. And if anybody is saying that he did not announce the result, the person is lying, because the results were being announced. In fact, they have announced 29. It remained only Taraba State. And even when they ordered him to come to the Aso Rock, I want to tell you, he was even arrested. But he still ordered that Taraba be announced. So at what point will Humphrey have announced that result? Is it in our Aso Rock when they detain him? We must be serious. But the truth of the matter is that the Senate resolution is advisory. It's not even compelling. So we are urging President Tinubu to do the right thing by immortalizing Professor Humphrey. Thank you.
I leave my house to come to these chambers. I ask God to guide my thoughts, to give me the will to speak the truth, and to service my conscience. I have listened and I've read through this two-page motion moved by a man I respect and I will always respect. But when it comes to facts, the written word, it will go into history. I want to be on record as saying the following. Paragraph 3 of this document, this motion, which says, quote, conscious of his courageous defense of the democratic electoral process during the 1993 presidential election that led to the famous June 12 slogan, which ultimately confirmed MKO Abiola as the winner of the election. This is manipulating and wrestling with the truth. June 12 became famous because Nigerians who voted and the elections results already announced, people were at liberty to do their calculation. But because the chief electoral officer failed to formally announce the figures and declare the winner, the Nigerian people on their own talk about, if you look at the media review, the man who is widely believed to have won the election, because the man who should have announced it failed to do so. The second paragraph, or the fourth paragraph, informed that he stood his ground during Nigeria electoral wishes and aspirations were realized, which culminated in June 12 being marked as a 30th Democratic Day due to his unwavering stand as an umpire. Sir, again, this is not correct. President Muhammadu Buhari, to his credit, decided, and may God bless him for that, said what Nigerians already knew. But coming from a city head of state and president, that gave it the currency. He said everybody knew that MKO Abiola won June, election that was conducted on June 12th. Nigerians were really in pain because nobody is able to quote where Professor Nwosu announced the results. It is his failure to announce the result, whether other threat or other whatever forces that prevented him from so doing, that Nigerians were unable to say that he was declared the winner. In fact, I was active in that struggle. When we met with the late General Sani Abacha, he said the reason he decided to order the detention of MKO Abiola was that